to you. My name is Sebastian.
Jose, guys.
So today we're going to talk about tools that every truck driver, owner-operator should have.
Yep.
How are we going to break it? We should do truck driver, basic stuff, and then advanced stuff like owner-operator level.
Yeah.
What you should have, right? Okay. Any updates about anything that happened last week? We just had an issue with a drive shaft. I just got a call that we're gonna have to tow back one of our gliders actually. So
he's being towed back to the shop over here.
To a shop.
Oh, to
no,
a
he's
shop.
far. He's far. We're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to repair it at a different shop, but we know them.
Okay.
We've done business with them. Good shop in Iowa. So, what else? How you been, man? You've been good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, feeling
Working a
better.
lot? Have you been putting a lot of hours?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah, we just had one of our guys came back, so it's gonna.
Yeah, we got an
help
extra guy on
out.
the team.
Yeah, and that's gonna be hopefully a little better on everybody. We have to catch up with those the
Bigger jobs. Oh, we have
the bigger jobs
one with that differential swap going on.
that needs to be done ASAP. Which I think he's gonna hop on it as soon as.
As he gets in, right?
Yeah, he's already. We talked about it already. He wants to do it ASAP. So perfect. We're gonna knock out a lot of big projects, and we have to also put the international in.
Yeah.
I really want to start shooting that and working on that. So perfect. Okay. So tools. Why is it important? Why would they decide to do that episode?
As an owner op, you want to avoid those service calls as most as possible. Obviously, save that money.
Yeah, cost cutting, fixing things yourself, and definitely not paying. Oftentimes, road calls are
really expensive,
overpriced,
and it could be for something really basic, really simple too.
And they make
Quick
it seem
fix.
like it was a complicated.
Yeah.
But no, it was just a fuse.
Yeah.
All right, let's start from the basic stuff. What do you got?
So as far as the driver,
Go slow. Like I want to see because I'm comparing my
Your
list
list.
as well. So I
Okay.
want to make sure we.
So as far as a driver, I believe you should carry a hammer with you.
Mm-hmm.
Hammer. I got screwdrivers, glad hand seals.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common leak.
Yeah.
Pliers, a PB blaster. I don't know. Depends on the guys. Some guys want to replace light bulbs. Some guys don't. They're like, oh no, I don't want to be touching that. They don't want to be responsible.
I put bulbs and lights on my basic set, and I think it's everybody's responsibility to at least swap a bulb for a driver. I mean, it's so simple. It's crazy that some drivers just don't want to do that,
or they don't even know how to open up the hood.
Or if they don't know, then yes, obviously, we should. I don't know. That would be such a simple video. Like this is how you open up a hood. But the only thing that what people are like when you have the mounts and how headlights are mounted and which parts of you have to take. Like in Freightliners, it's easier because everything is hanging there. But like Volvo, how many times I had guys swapping high beams versus low beams,
and they're like, "Oh, it's still not working."
Yeah. So there, but we should do that. We should.
It's something basic, but
how to swap a bulb, that would be definitely helpful. But bulbs, lights, good. Okay, what else?
As far as a driver, that's all I got written down because I don't know too many drivers that actually want to be doing more.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not a mechanic."
True. So here's my list. Basic wrench set as a driver. I think you should still have some basic set that will, screwdrivers, wrenches, anything that comes in a little case that you can buy at Walmart for $30-$40.
Yeah.
I think you should have that just
in case. You never know.
Yeah. Hammer, and I say one for tires, one heavy hammer. Let's say your fifth wheel gets stuck or something happens.
Yeah.
You want something bigger. That's me looking at what I would want my drivers to kind of have on board and would we supply. Some of them obviously have their own tools, but we supply some of the things that I want to be I want to have in the trucks. Crowbar, is one of them. I think you should have a crowbar as a driver.
What's the reason? As far as a driver, like
fifth wheel.
Your scenarios, what have you used it for?
For fifth wheel. oftentimes, especially winter. And I was gonna crack a joke, but I'm not gonna do that. But I think in general, crowbar is a small one is handy. Head flashlight, like a
Yeah.
flashlight on your
Yeah.
head. That's been very helpful to me. Tire pressure gauge, a must, not only around a truck but also a trailer. Spare fuses, spare oil and coolant.
Yeah.
That's, as a driver, you need to have that at least. And as we know, some of our drivers are too, they're overdoing it, right? They're watching their oil so much that they're like putting too much. We're getting it like, wait, this is way too high.
Yeah,
Like,
it's way too high. Yeah.
Just wait. WD-40 for sure, and then I did bulbs and lights. Bulbs and lights should be definitely the requirement, because that not only saves you time, it's an easy swap, and you don't want to wait an hour and a half for a service to get to swap
Swap
light
it out.
for
Yeah.
you. Plus, it's, you get pulled over.
Polar violation.
and that's a violation. So we're close. I think we were. I had a little bit more. I would want drivers to be more responsible for all those things. I think, especially tire pressure. You can just, there's so many things can go wrong if you're not
Low
watching
air,
your tires. Especially also trailer too, where you're do power, or if you have trailer that you don't know. I always encourage my guys to gauge it if it doesn't have the self-inflation system, because if you have recaps and the self-inflation, it's going to blow no matter what if it's messed up, right? But if you don't have that, just gauge it and see
where you're
it's
at.
And
it won't take much of your time. Let's say you're at a customer, just check the tire gauge while you're waiting.
A lot less than waiting on the side to have somebody fix it. But it's just looking at thinking about time savings and cost savings from the beginning, right?
Like
Spending
you mentioned,
10 minutes ahead, not to lose 2 hours later.
Exactly, and it's going to be your time and the company's time being lost.
Yeah, but it comes down again to the awareness of the driver around the truck, and also
wanting to learn.
But yeah.
Like you mentioned before, I believe you mentioned learn on somebody else's equipment.
Yeah.
If you have the
ask questions, and it's nothing makes me more happy than having my guys pull by the shop and like, hey, can you show me this or do that, or like, is there anything I can do around? That's the best thing. Advanced level. What would you think as an advanced, let's say, owner operator knows his way around a truck? What is it a good thing to have? Like, what would you be
brake
carrying?
adjustment tools?
Okay, true.
You want to be doing those brake adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Headlights, taillights, pigtails for those lights, because that's a common thing. Maybe the bulb is good, but the pigtail is corroded or broken wire.
Mm-hmm.
I put the 7-way plug for the trailer. Spare glad hands and trailer airlines.
But 7-way plug, explain, because I know some guys are what?
Yeah, it's it's a light cord. People call it light cord or 7-way plug. The pins like to spread out and they make false contact on the trailer. So you're driving down the road and you're hitting those bumps. Lights are flickering on and off, and that's more than likely that's going to be the issue.
Mm-hmm.
I also put belts for the fan and alternator. That's if you break that, you're going to be stranded for sure. I put common radiator hoses. You can just pick those up at the dealer. It's good to have. If you blow one out.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one with some clamps.
Clamps, yeah.
Charge air cooler hose and some clamps as well. You blow one of those, no power.
What do you do when you blow a hose on the road and now you have to swap a hose? Do you drain the coolant?
The coolant most likely drained out.
Yeah, just put water if it's summer and make sure you get to the next.
Well, it depends if you catch it on time, because I'm pretty sure you're going to be driving down the road. You're going to see some steam coming up.
Yeah.
If it's on the top, if it blew on the bottom, you're obviously not going to see it. It's all going to go out.
If it's a slow leak, you can save it. But
yeah, you can save it.
If it's a slow leak, what do you do?
If you got a hose, pull over and change it out. And regardless, you got a coolant leak, you got to pull over. You don't want to overheat the engine.
Yeah. And then when you just dump the whole coolant, you're screwed anyway. So you have to refill it, and do not drive dry.
No,
That's one of
definitely
the
not.
number
No.
one mistakes that guys do is just like, well, I'll just make it to the gas
Yeah, let me
station.
limp it. No,
No.
no.
Put water. Make sure you plug it somehow. Put water if you have, and yeah, it's gonna mess up your engine for sure. That's definitely one that I've had experience with and helped me tremendously. Oftentimes, I used to carry, because coolant's expensive, so I would have like 2 or 3 gallons of water under the sleeper just for whatever use. And I'm not gonna lie to you, at least a few times I had to use all of it to get to a shop or truck stop to fix the leaky hoses. And I'll tell you a story at the end. When I went to on I-80, I drove, and the went through a truck wash, and the guy's like, "I just wash your top of your hood." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I don't want to open it." And then I did. I don't know why I opened it. That was my first time, I think. And he was like, "No, I'm not gonna wash your engine. I just want to wash the top of your hood." And then all the water hit all the sensors, and so I pulled out, like everything just died.
It was running so rough.
I had
right?
so many colds. I was like, "Oh God!" I was coming back. I was tired, and I just wanted to just get home. And so I had my tools, and I disconnected the oil pressure sensor, and something else was wrong with it. That wouldn't let me drive. But then I did that, and I came back home.
Probably the low coolant level, maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, that was like that was the first thing I did. But then I was like, I kept looking, and the harness was messed up in one of the spots by it, and I was just like, okay, cool, I'll just unplug it. And I wasn't sure if it's gonna work, actually, to be honest with you. But the reading was wrong, and that's why it threw off the computer. So when I unplugged it, it didn't read anything. So there was value 0, so it was fine.
Probably the corrosion.
Yeah.
I have also fuel filters as an owner op. Fuel filters and a filter wrench.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have. If you're on the more advanced and you're comfortable replacing a brake chamber, why not?
I was thinking about putting that, but then I didn't. Ultimately, I didn't put the brake chamber. What else do you have?
I believe pretty much it. I have yeah.
Okay, mine. Like a bigger tool set for sure. It was something that I put in, and what I mean by that is maybe a little bit more pieces. Ultimately, anything that you can fix on the road, you can fix with a basic tool set. Like the clamps. Like I'm trying to think of why would you need wrenches and things, like nothing crazy.
The wrenches, maybe it would be for like brake air lines from the chamber to the valves.
Yeah. And then obviously I would say wrenches for filter wrenches for DAFCO or for
Fuel,
just anything.
oil.
Yeah, that's something that you would want extra. Plus, if you're bringing, so I also added serpentine belts. Obviously, you want to have a spare. And then I got air hoses, quick connects.
Yeah.
That's something that I always carried on with me, and because man, how many times I messed up an airline somewhere, and it's such a cheap part to have. Like in any size, just have 5 of them.
Yeah,
and just
they
help out people when they have issues on.
Yeah, airline starts rubbing, boom, got a big early.
Yeah, that helped. That saved me multiple times. So yeah, quick connect valves, extra sensors. I don't know if like coolant sensors, that's a little bit more advanced as far as like being able to, sometimes you have to rewire the section to get to a sensor, right? So you're not sure if it's the wire or the sensor itself.
Exactly.
So that's one that's like,
if you're mechanically inclined and more comfortable.
You can find it. Yeah. Creeper.
Yeah.
Something that's kind of not doesn't take a lot of
no, it won't take up much space at all.
Man, I remember once I was fixing air hoses in January in Chicago, on the side of the road. The guy pulled over. I'm like deep in snow without a creeper on my back. I was so cold. It was so funny, but I fixed it, and I fixed it with all the. I put quick connects in this truck, and I used a lot of those, and then I brought some with me in my pickup truck. And so what he did, somehow he ripped something got stuck on the drivetrain, and it like ripped
it caught onto one of the airlines.
Yeah. So I had to connect all of those. I had to fix those, and yeah, without a creeper, it was not fun. Extra belts, I got, and I got wires and tools to redo harness if corroded.
Yeah.
Right, but that's like advanced stuff if you know how to do that. But I'm talking more about taillights than anything around the engine, because
definitely
if you
is.
start messing with the engine harnesses, that's a different thing. But like, if you can pretty easily find a corroded harness at the back end by the taillights due to salt and snow and water and all that stuff.
And if you're not too sure, like before you cut that harness, just go one by one, one wire by,
Yeah.
Make it easier for yourself. Don't
Yeah.
cut all three off at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, that, yeah, obviously. And then connectors. How many times we have you look at the wires and all of a sudden the connector is messed up inside, right?
yeah.
So
Also, like heat treat butt connectors. Make sure
Yes.
you actually heat them up, not just crimp them and that's it.
yeah,
You're gonna get water and that's gonna
seal them.
yeah.
Seal them and use of lighter
Yeah.
or anything that is going to put some heat on it. I found at a truck stop I carried a flashlight that would be like a torch, little torch. You can buy that.
On the other end.
Yeah. So,
Oh, nice.
so no, it used. So there were two, but the one was just a little flashlight that you just click it and it's a torch.
Oh,
and
nice.
It was like $5. I was like, holy crap! I bought 5 of them, and I still have some at the shop, and that's so easy to just torch it down and you know.
And you know you're gonna
seal
have
it.
a weather tight too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to connectors, if the connector's messed up and then now you're like, crap, you have some extra wire, or you don't even need extra wire, but you have the connectors, you
Yeah.
can bypass that the split or the connector very easily.
Just
and then
jump it.
and just jump it and then look at the colored wires
Yeah.
and make sure you connect it properly. And that happened to me a few times. And then it's just, and then you don't have to worry about, it's going to take you 15 minutes to do
Yeah.
it, 20 minutes if you're like, just make sure you're looking at the plug when you open it and exactly connect them the way they're
Exactly.
hooked up.
Fuses and relays.
Fuses and relays, which I said in my basic tools, because obviously the advanced is on top of whatever you should have as a driver, in the basic setup. But definitely spare fuses, like I said, and oil, WD-40, spare coolant. I have trailer circuit tester.
Oh, that's yeah.
That's definitely. I should probably get that sponsorship from them, because I've been pushing that a lot, and everybody that comes in, I'll tell them just get one, because that tells you immediately when you plug it in, is it my truck or the trailer,
Exactly,
that I'm dealing with, and you don't have to run around and do crazy stuff. It just
And they're inexpensive. You buy them on Amazon.
$50,
Yeah.
$60. So that's definitely one that, even in the basic one, if you kind of know what you're looking for as far as lights, you don't really have to, if you know your pigtail is working,
Yeah.
then if you're hooking up to a trailer and it's not working, it has light issues, then it's the trailer. So perfect. That's a lot. We got a lot covered, I think.
What do you think about starting fluid as an owner op? I mean, stay away from it, but I wouldn't carry it as a driver.
No, I wouldn't as a driver, but that's a good one to have for sure.
Yeah.
And just the knowledge around, hey,
Being aware of if your engine has an intake heater, because obviously
Yes.
you're putting some starting fluid. You're running that risk.
but preventing, why would you need a starting fluid, right?
Yeah.
Usually winter when
Yeah.
you're messing with that, just make
Yeah.
sure you stay on top of your. Yeah, I'm not gonna say idle, but just plug it in, and there are many different ways. But yeah, so I stay starting fluid for sure. Okay, I think we've covered pretty much everything
Yeah.
that we can come up with right now. If you guys have any suggestions, comment under the video. Let us know what else we missed and what else saved your time and money on the road, and that would definitely be helpful. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, share, and we'll talk to you soon.